are now tuned in to the DAR Sports Media Draft Season Special. We're kicking things off this week. Finally, as some of our content creators here on the page said to us, finally we're doing draft coverage. The NFL draft creeping up on us, just a little over 6 weeks away, 8 weeks away. We're going to do a little bit of top of the draft discussion as well. What are we thinking? Tennessee is interesting to me because there's been no indication that they're taking a quarterback, and I'm really fucking confused as to why that would be. Because wasn't Will Levis like a viral meme machine? Like every week it was like, what funny fucking picture are we gonna do of Will Levis doing something fucking crazy? And like every week he fulfilled it. I don't. Where is anybody getting the idea that Tennessee is set at quarterback? I don't know if it's because they feel really good about their opportunity to trade the pick and they're just trying to keep quiet about it so it doesn't fuck nothing up. I don't really understand what is going on here as far as, I mean, Abdul Carter is an awesome fucking player. Travis Hunter is an awesome player. Either one of those guys. I get it. But then you're just no offense to Lee Harvey, but then you're just like kind of playing the Cleveland game. Like ask them what it's been like to have an amazing pass rusher that you took number 1 overall and no fucking quarterback for 10 fucking years. Ask the Raiders what it's been like to have an awesome fucking pass rusher and no quarterback for fucking 10 years. Like I don't know. I don't understand what's happening there with them. Lee, do you got a read on this?
About Tennessee, I've been hearing that they might try and trade the pick, but that I don't know. I agree with you that they should be looking at either Cam Ward or Shedeur because I'm not that sold on Will Levis either.
Not that sold. He fucking sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's to put it bluntly. But yeah. I mean, yeah, he wasn't good at all. Like you said, he was a meme every week. And when you're more of a meme than winning games, then that's not going to help the franchise. So I would have second thoughts about looking at Shedeur or looking at Cam and draft either one of them.
Apollo, help me out, man. What is Tennessee thinking here? What is going on with this?
They have a lot of holes, but I mean the main position they have to fill is quarterback because, like it's been said ad nauseum, Will Levis just isn't that guy at all. I mean, in this day and age, the quarterback. I mean, once you get the quarterback right, everything else will fall in line, or it'll make everything easier because you'll have a direction for your team. And if I was Tennessee, I would see. You keep hearing different things about Shedeur and like Cam, like they are the top 2 guys you hear as far as QB, but like there's like a lot of people that's not sold on Shedeur, and it's kind of like with Cam, he's the best of the class, so it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know what I mean? That's how it feels to me, at least from the media standpoint. But I think if they really wanted to set their franchise, the right way, I would take a chance on Cam. I mean, his leadership. Not saying that Shedeur doesn't. He does have leadership, but Cam may be, a little different, a little grittier. You know what I mean? And
I don't know. Shedeur got the shit beat out of him for 2 years and Kept coming,
Well,
led the league in completion percentage. The nation, I mean, led the nation in completion percentage. You could lead the nation in completion percentage and be getting the shit knocked out of you. That's a tough that's a tough motherfucker.
No, he's tough. I'm just talking about, I guess, the leadership style from hearing
I
them
got
talk.
you. And Cam Ward, you know, I guess we'll be kind and call him mature, since the motherfucker can rent a car. He's so old.
But yeah, I think if I was them, I'll go with Cam. You could argue they can take the best player available, which is Travis Hunter, but I mean, you got to get the franchise guy right. You know what I mean? At least have a competent quarterback that doesn't lose you games.
And we're gonna get to this when we start talking about the quarterbacks, but I don't think Cam Ward is built for that situation. I think Cam Ward would fit really, really well into a good situation. If you had a good line, he was going to the Vikings, if he was going to the Lions, if he was going to the Eagles, I'd be like, fucking, he's the guy. But we'll get to that in a minute. You have some special interest in this, as for a while, the Giants were tied to Shedeur and could very well be in a position to take Shedeur. So what do you feel about that? The Giants and it could very well fall that way. Because we're going to get to the other big looming question at number 2. But, you know, say the Titans go with either Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, number 1. We'll talk about number 2. The Giants at number 3, there's a very real possibility that they will be in a position to take Shedeur. What are your thoughts and feels?
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be there when they pick. Who's got number 2? Is it Cleveland?
Yeah, it's Cleveland.
I don't know. That might be a little interesting because now I think about it now, they're definitely going to get a quarterback. So,
do you think so? Okay, so what? Hold on, let's do that now, because I'm seeing some mock drafts that have them taking a quarterback, and to me, I just cannot believe or understand, or like, you gonna double down on the lost value of this fucking situation by also throwing more draft assets at it that ain't gonna.
Well, you know what they're thinking once they get rid of Myles Garrett.
Let me go up to this fucking house that's on fire. Let me fucking take a full porta-john and soak it in gasoline and then launch it into the fucking house, and that'll make it better for the people in the family inside. You're going to have a rookie quarterback who's number 2 overall sitting on the bench while Mr. Nasty Man is out there sucking it up, costing all this fucking money. They wouldn't bench him before when he clearly wasn't the best option. Now you're going to have a number 2 draft pick sitting behind him as well. How is that going to make this situation any better?
Myles Garrett, once they trade Myles Garrett, they'll get some picks back. They'll get some good value back, and that'll make them feel better about doing it.
Well, I mean, I can see that. Also, if they trade Myles Garrett and get that cap room, maybe there's a glimmering light of hope that maybe they can move on from this situation. That they'll have to eat they'll have to get rid of Myles Garrett to be able to get rid of fucking Deshaun Watson. That is what the world has come to at this point. Lee Harvey, do you think the Browns are taking a quarterback?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh! Wow!
Yeah. I feel like they have no other choice.
True looks disgusted up there. Looks like he just smelled shit.
I mean, if they draft Abdul Carter, who's probably the next best player other than the quarterbacks, okay, you might have drafted Myles' replacement, but what happens at quarterback if you draft Carter? So I just think whoever Tennessee drafts number 1, you get at number 2.
True. What do you think, man? Is Cleveland gonna fucking compound this situation.
First of all, did not appreciate the unceremonious disrespect to Will Levis. Just wanted to point that out first. Just did not appreciate the unceremonious disrespect to Will Levis. Not that I care anything about Will Levis, but just goddamn.
Just right off the bat, we're just fucking dropping napalm on this guy.
Like nobody, like we didn't even work our way into like it was just like, hey, Tennessee, y'all need a quarterback because this motherfucker sucks, and that's not wrong. It's not wrong, but I don't know, man. Cleveland and their quarterback history, I really don't know if this is. If you do pick a quarterback, I mean, obviously there's two that are at the top of the board. And I mean, if you want to throw Jackson Dart in there too as a, I don't know. I mean, stranger things have happened, but I just don't know. I feel like you pick the best player that's available on the board, unless you have a super need for a quarterback. And they do have a super need for a quarterback. But I don't want to see Cleveland do anything personally because anything that they do to make Lee Harvey happy. And the last thing I want is Lee Harvey to be happy. So I don't want that. But if they make the wrong decision, then you won't be happy. And so I kind of want them to pick somebody that's just not going to help their team out at all. But they already have somebody in that quarterback room who's not going to help their team at all. So I guess I could see it. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. Mm-hmm. I definitely wouldn't want to see like a Shedeur go to Cleveland. Definitely don't want to see that.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been no scuttlebutt about that, about Shedeur saying he wouldn't go there. And for everybody, all the shit that all these fucking, never mind, all these reporters, I was going to say a certain demographic, but
no, do it. No, let's do it. Shit, let's do it.
No, because well,
let's do it.
I'll edit this out. I'll edit this part out. Cue the music.
Some jackasses who letting their racism shine. Like we can call it out. We can tell the truth. We can say it. Fuck it. That's what it is. We see it in sports every day. Yeah. Can't shy away from like the fact that anytime you get these talking heads in the media who they want to humble Shedeur, that's a big part of what we're seeing. A lot of it, like, oh, he's this or he's not that. He's like you don't have to humble anybody. For one, you're the media. You're the media. The media is not here to humble anybody. Our job as media is not to humble anybody. What gives us the right to humble somebody that plays in sport for a fucking living? We're just documenting what we see and giving opinions. So to try to knock down somebody like a Shedeur, knock down any player because you don't like the way a motherfucker look or talk, and you're an idiot. You're a bitch. You're several things. I could continue on with my insults, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to uplift the game in any way, shape. Especially these are kids. These are some of them. Some of them grown ass men with like like industrial jobs. There is
a quarterback in this draft class that's going to turn 26 in September.
Yeah. So some of them grown ass men with full-fledged jobs, homes and shit. But most of these are still kids. Like they're still kids.
Motherfucker got a primary care doctor. But So it's, what I was going to say though is that for all the shit we hear about Shedeur and his character, there's been nothing as far as like, oh, I won't play here and I won't play there. He said, fucking draft me, Cleveland. Like, he didn't say nothing about that. Back to the original place where we started all this, though. Apollo, what do you feel, man? Shedeur to the Giants. How do you feel about that possibility? Would you prefer that to be the case? If he's there at the pick, is that what you want? You do know that your quarterback room right now has the legendary alumni of University of Illinois State, Jack Shit is his name. That's what's in your quarterback room right now. Jack fucking Shit. Ain't fucking nobody in there right now.
This is a couple things. So I wanna add a different perspective to the Shedeur I guess, quote unquote slander. See, the other side of all this stuff is when stuff like that happens from anonymous scouts or anonymous sources, a lot of times that's like trickery used by some team that wanted that to get out there. So maybe that player that they really want can fall. I think maybe the Giants might have put that out there so that Cleveland wouldn't think about getting a quarterback, which would most likely be Shedeur. So because they already have a quarterback conundrum, with Deshaun Watson, not even notwithstanding, the freaky stuff he do, like how he was being in Cleveland these last few years. The reports coming out like he was so standoffish, he wouldn't take accountability. So it's kind of like he's walking with an air, but you can tell that he was really hurt and affected by this. So it's like, all right, you already got that going on. Do you want another quote unquote guy that might be a lot to deal with, especially with Prime and waiting in the wings? Like, hey, don't fuck this up. Like, you know what I mean? And he's going to tell him, don't fuck this up. This is my son. So it's like, and I don't blame him. So it's like, I don't know if Cleveland wants all of that right now. So I think the Giants purposely put that out there so he can fall to number 3. I wouldn't necessarily want him. I'd rather get Sam Darnold. I mean, I'm cool with getting Sam Darnold.
Really?
Like, or what's the other? Or Kirk Cousins? Is he a free agent? Yeah. Or Kirk. One of them two. Well, I mean, he's getting let go.
He's gonna be. Yeah. He's gonna
be. So it's like, I'll give you one of them two. Or shit, get Aaron Rodgers. I mean, like, it don't matter. For a 1-year stopgap, that's fine. Because this is the thing. I think that Mara needs to you need to extend Dayball and Shane. This is extend them another 3 years. Let them see this thing out. Because he's already nervous about being seen as like one of those tumultuous franchises where they keep firing guys every 2 years, every 3 years. But it's like, all right, if you're thinking about that, then just slow your roll, extend those guys so they can feel confident and that they're not making the wrong move for the health of the franchise overall. You know what I'm saying? Like, let them make a good decision that's going to help the franchise. Give them a stopgap and get a top player. Who? I mean, I haven't looked at any mock drafts, but who are they slated to get?
Just the one I had pulled up so I can have reminders of the good players. Travis Hunter.
Sure. Oh, hey, there you go. There you go. Get Travis Hunter. That would give them, building block. That's what you're saying. That would give them a pretty filthy fucking wide receiver duo between Travis Hunter and dude they picked last year. Oh, damn that. Oh, hell no. No, motherfucker, you playing cornerback. I don't want to.
Okay.
You're playing corner, motherfucker. The ball needs help. Damn all that. He can get in a few packages here and there. Man, please. Nah, you're going to be a corner. Now, you know what I'm saying? If he shows better in training camp or in rookie camp with the wide receiver sets and the dig routes, then all right, we can talk. But come on, man.
I'm just always a fan of establishing identity for a team. Like, okay, our identity is we got a dope wide receiver duo. They put him on at corner, they're just going to be another fucking team with one good corner. You know what I mean? Like, and the rest of the defense sucks. So I guess we're there since we kind of, what's the feelings about Shedeur? Because for me, I like him as QB1 in this class. Led the league in completion percentage. Led the nation in completion percentage. Remarkably consistent. 13,000 career passing yards, 121 touchdowns, just 22 interceptions in college for his whole fucking career. Super high numbers over the years. Great release. Damn near 75%, brother. Oh my goodness gracious. Surgical and short and intermediate game, which is where a lot of the NFL is played. knows defensive leverage, outstanding ball security, especially relative to volume. He was dropping back to throw all the fucking time and only had 22 interceptions, very few fumbles. Our man Cam Ward had 8 fumbles this fucking year. This year.
Damn.
So to me, I am comfortably in and like we already said, taking hit after hit after hit right on the fucking chops. It is wild. That is a crazy stat combination to me. To be a guy who got hit as much as he did and still lead the nation in completion percentage. Like that to me is like you're standing in there and you're putting it where it needs to be regardless. And as I'll say when we get to Cam Ward, and as I say all the time on this show and time after time, it gets proven fucking correct. What separates the good from the decent from the bad, the decent from the good, and the good from the great is what you fucking do when there's about to be a helmet put into your chest. It's why a guy like Brock Purdy could be short, could have a weak arm, could do all that, but he's still, for a year at least, last year was a little weird, put up MVP numbers because he was willing to take that shot in the chest and still get the ball there. Tom Brady, same fucking way. Matt Stafford, we see that same fucking way. Everybody who does not melt, who thrives in pressure, Patrick Mahomes. That's what separates guys like that from guys like Goff and guys like Darnold, is they fucking completely turn into a different player when there's a guy in his face. And when we get to it, it's kind of the case for Cam Ward from what I can see. But Shedeur is not that guy. And that's why I have so much confidence in him between the completion percentage, between the ball placement. He reminds me a lot, his ball placement, the trajectory he gets on his throws to fit into tight windows and corners. He reminds me a lot of Joe Burrow. And people would shocked at that comparison because of, Joe Burrow has this phenomenal arm. I'm not saying that Shedeur's velocity is like Joe Burrow. I'm saying the way he knows how to place the ball, especially in intermediate outside throws, is very, very reminiscent to Joe Burrow. Look at the fucking tape and tell me I'm wrong. I like Shedeur a lot, and I'd be very comfortable with him as a top 5 quarterback if I was one of these teams. But Apollo, you said you didn't really want that at number 3, so I guess we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on all that? He's my QB1. Tell me why he's not yours.
I didn't say he wasn't. I was just, I guess, going off of consensus of what things that I see or what they talk about. But no, I agree with you. It's funny. Last year, not this past year, but the year before. Was it 2023? He was already talked about midway through the season as basically going to be like a number 1 pick in the following draft.
Absolutely.
That's how they were talking about him. And seeing some games, see some of the highlights, I'm like, yeah. I mean, that boy stays in the pocket. He stays in the trenches. I mean, he'll take a hit. He takes a licking.
He needs to fucking stop. That's one of the major drawbacks on him. He needs to start getting that fucking ball out.
He can't do that Caleb Williams,
we believe you. We believe you can do it. He's not nearly as bad as Caleb Williams, but there's little spices. There's little pinches of Caleb Williams here and there. We believe you. We believe you're tough. Get the fucking ball out.
Like, get the ball out your hands, bro. Like,
yeah.
So I mean, he's my QB1. I will say this. I really like Jackson Dart.
Oh, we're gonna get there. Don't you worry, because it's not happening yet. But I think when pro days start, you're gonna see some things with Jackson Dart, and I don't think they're completely unfounded. But go ahead, give us your Jackson Dart rundown. I guess I'll do mine right now too.
No, most of these guys I've seen, like, they're around the same height, like 6'4" or 6'2".
Yeah.
I mean, he looks bigger. Like, he looks like Josh Allen build. Like when at the combine, at least he did, And I don't know, man. I like the kid. I mean, it's 40 time. I mean, it was at 4.85. I mean, that wasn't that great, but it's average for a quarterback. Like I
He
really
can move though.
Yeah, he can move. And he's I think he's a rhythm passer. Like, would you agree with that? He's more of like a rhythm.
Thrower. But when he gets into that rhythm, shit.
Yeah. So I know he has like a quick release. So unlike Shedeur, he can get the ball out quicker. But I would say that Jackson Dart would be my number 2 for all intents and purposes, and then I guess Cam would be 3.
So he was my pick. Jackson Dart was my pick to be like this year's come out of nowhere. Now he's getting picked in the top 15. The guy, yeah. I'm a little confused. I'm confused on where we're hitting a roadblock with him. Cause 6'3", 225, good speed or good size. What I like about him is that he improved every year. You look at his career splits, he got a little bit better every single year, all the way through. He's not like a 1 year. I just produced 1 year. He's not, not to keep bagging on Cam Ward, but like Cam Ward kind of came out of nowhere and had a couple of years of production. Like Jackson Dart was that dude when he got recruited. He came into Ole Miss. He went for 4,300 yards and 29 touchdowns with just 6 interceptions, 500 rushing yards in the SEC. And again, statistical jumps every single year. He went from his junior year going just very, very fucking tough in the pocket. The only issue is he's tough. He'll take the hits, but sometimes his mechanics will get a little wild. Jumps out of the pocket a little too early sometimes. And when he gets bad, he gets bad. You're going to get some woofers. You're going to get some 4 interception games out of him. And the deep ball accuracy is, I would put him behind both Shedeur and Cam Ward in that category. But I am surprised to not see him moving up yet. I thought that process would already be underway. I don't really understand why it's not. I like Jackson Dart a lot as well, especially in such a weak fucking class, man. Like there's really only one other guy that I'm interested in outside of Cam Ward. So it would be very surprising. Like, and it's funny because, everybody, for whatever reason, people try to downplay this, like this quarterback hungry situation that the league is in. But like nobody, I'm telling you right now, Jackson Dart's going to end up in the top in the first round. So I'm glad you like him too, Apollo.
Yeah. Now, real quick, I heard something about Jalen Milroe. I think it was like one of the NFL personnel guys. They had said that Jalen Milroe had the athleticism, maybe a little more than Anthony Richardson.
I mean, he's very fast. He's very fast. That's no doubt. I mean, Anthony Richardson also has a fucking howitzer rocket fucking arm, and also has that speed at, what is he, like 6'5", 250? So but no, Jalen Milroe is an ultra fucking athlete, like super fast, strong arm, all of that. He just sometimes didn't look like he belonged on the same field as some of those defenses that he played against. That's my issue.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, and then another observation I had was with Dillon Gabriel. He's a little guy, man. He looks.
I'm excited for him. Small. I'm excited for his time in the other league that me and True and the boys cover. The UFL. Dillon Gabriel's going to be. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm really not. Like I think Dillon Gabriel's going to be a dope UFL quarterback. I really do.
Wow.
Or a good. He got AJ McCarron vibes.
He's going to be a real good CFL quarterback with the wider field, stretching side to side, because that's what he's really good at, is those short side to side passes. I think Dillon Gabriel. There's a place for Dillon Gabriel in pro football. I just don't know if it's going to be as a starter in the NFL.
There you go. I agree.
There's another guy in this draft while I'm talking about UFL, so I don't forget to make this point later, Tommy Mellott out of Montana State was 4,000 yard rusher in the fucking Division II area, Division II level as a quarterback. Ran a 4.42 fucking 40 as a quarterback. Developed as a passer over the years, still had a little bit of work to do there, but I think Tommy Mellott's going to be nasty as fuck in the UFL, and I'm excited to see that someday. I hope. True. Who do you guys your quarterback one, man? What's your thoughts on Shedeur? Your thoughts on the rise?
I got Shedeur as my number one. I think I've said all year Cam Ward is good. I wasn't as sold on Cam Ward as like everybody else. Like I think he's firmly at 2, but which doesn't take anything away from how he plays. But Shedeur, I just watched Shedeur do some outstanding things. I mean, you rattled off the numbers a little earlier. Numbers speak for themselves. I like Jackson Dart too. Maybe probably not as much as Apollo, but I gotta go with Shedeur. I just think I've seen enough of Shedeur. I've seen his growth also, and his I don't like using the term maturity, but I've seen his growth as a quarterback through his time.
Yeah, he was a wing T quarterback in high school.
Yeah, so his improvement is a major key to him being where he is, and I think it's very hard sometimes for certain quarterbacks to translate over to the NFL. Even highly touted quarterbacks, we've seen that quite often where it just doesn't work out. And I guess putting them into a situation, whether it will be say a Tennessee or Cleveland or New York Giants, none of those are favorable situations, but I believe he has enough talent to be the building block for turning around a situation that's not ideal. It starts with your offense. I mean, it starts with the quarterback, regardless. So, I have him as one. I pretty much feel like that's the top 3 quarterbacks are we all kind of just covered them basically. I think Shedeur is 1. I'd put Cam at 2, and then I put Jackson Dart at 3. I heard Paulo mention Milroe, and there's a couple other names I've seen thrown around, boy out of Louisville, and a couple other guys, but I just not where those 3 are. There's no other quarterbacks that's where those 3 are. I agree with you on Jackson Dart probably going first round too. I think that's the cap, though. I think that's the cap on first round quarterbacks. I just don't envision any other teams taking any of these other quarterbacks because none of these other guys to me are game changers. Whereas I think you have 2 game changers, Cam Ward and Shedeur, and then you have a potential game changer in Jackson Dart, and then you just got. I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but like everybody else, like that's how this draft class feels for the quarterbacks. So,
pretty much.
So,
Will Howard sucked. I just want to say that.
So,
by the way.
No Will Howard minutes on this fucking thing. And I want to be clear. I don't have like a huge knock on Cam Ward. I love his accuracy. I love his ability to throw off platform, different arm angles. Great arm talent. Again, mature, has grown like crazy. He was like a negative 3-star wing T quarterback coming out of high school and is all the way here talking about getting picked in the top 5. Like, I got nothing against Cam Ward. I think that Cam Ward, from what I've seen, from the turnovers when he gets hit in the pocket, from the way that his game changes when he gets pressured, I think Cam Ward needs to go to a place where he could be protected, where he has a decent offensive line pass pro, and none of the places that I see mock drafting him are places that can protect him. So that is a fucking problem. That's kind of my issue with the Cam Ward situation. Lee, I'm seeing Cam Ward mocked to the Browns a lot. Is Cam Ward your number 1, or would you like somebody else?
I always thought Shedeur was QB1.
Okay, so we're all in agreement on that. It's funny, you know. It seems like it's pretty simple for all of us, and yet I'm just not seeing it a lot. I'm seeing a lot of Cam Ward all over these mock drafts. Kind of strange.
I just hope we get back to what our identity was initially, and that was running the football. And you know, in his 2 years, I don't know if he had a run game at Jackson State, but he had 0 run game at Colorado.
Yeah.
And if we can just get back to our identity and running the football, then that will take a bunch of pressure off of Shedeur, where he won't have to do too much. I wouldn't be surprised if. Where are the Jets?
Jets. Jets are.
They're like 7th or something.
7th, yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets were to look at Jackson Dart.
Okay.
I would be okay with that, since right now they got the mocks. Some of the mocks that I'm looking at got them taking the guy that I want the 49ers to take. So I would be okay with that.
Look at either Dart or we haven't mentioned Quinn Ewers.
Because there's no fucking reason to mention him.
I'm sure ain't. What the hell?
Boy, it's terrible.
I promise you he's not going anywhere that has a better fucking team around him than he had in Texas. Shit. And we saw what that felt like. One guy that we have not mentioned and that I wanted to throw onto my sleepers. Apollo's going to know. Kyle McCord from Syracuse set ACC records, 4,780 yards, 34 touchdowns. Was a former 5-star, top 3 recruit, lightning quick, elite release, and pristine mechanics. Got the ball out in under 2.5 seconds consistently, which led the nation. Surgical accuracy, 25 yards and under. Does everything pre-snap you could ever want a pro quarterback to do. Good pocket movement, good pocket awareness, has all the smarts. You know, he's a Brock Purdy if he got bit by a radioactive spider. He's a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. Basically, all the same good things and bad things. Limited athleticism. Brock Purdy don't have limited athleticism. What am I talking about? Dude's a beast. Gets a little more aggressive. His mouth writes at checks that his ass cannot cash all the time. 34 touchdowns, damn near 5,000 yards. It's going to make you confident. He takes a few too many chances, throw some picks. Can lock on to primary leads. Things like that. But habits that can be fixable. I think Kyle McCord is very slept on. Coming into this thing. And I think most definitely in the right situation, give him a year to work on some of those mechanics, some of those abilities, some of those bad habits that don't really show themselves that much. I mean, that feller threw for damn near 5,000 yards and 34 touchdowns on Syracuse. Name me a fucking skill player or an offensive lineman coming off of that fucking team in this draft. And that dude was fucking lighting that shit up like a goddamn slot machine. What do you think, Apollo?
I like him. I agree with you. He does get the ball out fast, and that is an excellent trait that's going to translate to the next level.
He's Caleb Williams' fucking Waluigi. He's Caleb Williams' Wario.
Yeah. He I would say this. I would say he's kind of like a sleeper, almost like a sleeper.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying he's not going in the first round, but I think somebody's going to get a snag in like the 4th.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is like he's going to probably wind up being the best, or at least top 3 best quarterbacks in this class, probably when it's all said and done. Like if you look at success of career,
especially you get him into the right situation. If
right.
If the Lions are about ready to move on from Goff,
have him
Kyle
in the
McCord on
wings.
the Lions would be fucking nasty, something like that.
No.
Did you have a sleeper you wanted to talk about?
So it's two guys, but I'm actually gonna just ask you and Lee and True more so like what your take on him. So the kid from Houston.
I know you're talking about. Hold on a second. What's his name? I know what you're talking about because I was looking at him earlier. I'm like, hey, he had some decent fucking games this year.
Donovan Smith.
Yeah, Donovan Smith. Yep.
Now he is 6'5", 235.
Yes, that's what I was, and he ran a pretty good 40.
And he ran a good 40. So I can tell that this kid is a good athlete. So I mean, thoughts like he's going to be. What do you think? He's going to be a fifth round guy?
Yes.
I think it'll be probably fifth, but 2,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 300 yards rushing, size, good speed for the size. He's definitely an interesting you take him later. As funny as he was another one that was on my my UFL watch list. I said, you know what? I can see this guy being big man on campus in the UFL in a few years. Bouncing around, probably get drafted late, might not get a chance. Maybe a practice squad or two, and then he'll be down there crushing it, with this size and the speed and some of the ability he has. Great arm talent, great velocity, good deep ball as well, which can get you fucking picked up. I like Donovan Smith out of Houston. Definitely. Intriguing. Lee, did you have a sleeper? Not fucking Will Howard. Jesus Christ. Or Quinn Ewers. Stop it.
Or Riley Leonard.
I mean, why not? Why not Quinn? Because why
not Quinn?
Look,
did you watch the games?
I did. Why did everyone before he once he transferred to Texas and played through not last season but the year before, he had so much draft hype to the point where folks started to think he was going to be a first quarterback taken off the board.
Who, in his fucking family, at the family dinner table at his house?
I remember this story years ago when he was young, and they was acting like he was the greatest prospect of all time at the age 15 or some shit.
Right.
And then look at him. Look at what he became.
Right. I knew I wasn't tripping.
That motherfucker was heralded.
Well, we here at DAR are heralded. Earlier on this week, me and True put out the wrestling World of Wrestling pod. Huge stuff going on in the world of wrestling this past weekend, and a big weekend coming up for wrestling. DAR is fucking everywhere. We'd have to do a short just to name all the fucking places and things everybody's fucking doing. I have a very funny story to tell you, True, when we're off air about another really funny thing that almost happened. DR's everywhere. Our guy Apollo, he's doing his Shock Sports, his NBA scouting. True is a writer for Pro Football Network. He covers hockey. We're all producing these pods. The wrestling pod is out earlier this week. Coming up soon will be another NBA Hoops Hour pod. Check us out on the United Football Media. Everybody who's here, who listens over there, I appreciate you because our numbers are fucking going off over on the UFM. We're doing great numbers over there, and that is fucking awesome. What I need to do is talk more about this page over there than the other way around. But in case you didn't know, we host the Wraparound Sports Center style show over there on the UFM covering the UFL. And also myself and Tay, who was unceremoniously absent from this episode and will be mocked for that for the foreseeable future. Me and him host the DC Defenders show over there as well. So definitely check out United Football Media, their media page. Check out the pods. Check out our Medium site. Check out True on Pro Football Network. Check out the Wrestling Pod from earlier this week. Stay tuned to this channel as continuing NFL draft coverage, plus some more NBA hoops hours as things heat up in the NBA. We're barreling towards the playoffs. By the time you listen to this, most teams are going to have less than 20 games left. A whole lot of stuff going on. Over here, True and Apollo got new music coming out as well. So be on the lookout for that. It just don't stop because the world of DAR never stops.